The history of ancient Egypt is usually told through monuments and sunlight. We imagine pharaohs standing on palace balconies, crowds gathering at festivals, and priests performing rituals beneath the burning desert sky. But Egypt also had a world that existed far from the public eye. It was a world of sealed doors, forbidden knowledge, and spiritual experiments never recorded in official texts. From this darker world came one of the most mysterious groups mentioned in fragments of ancient writings, the Order of the Night Sea. Unlike most priestly orders, the Night Sea did not serve a specific temple or open ritual. Its members never appear in inscriptions that celebrated kings. There are no statues of them, no public records, and no surviving temple dedicated to their work. Instead, they appear in whispers, short notes in damaged papyri, warnings written on the backs of tomb walls, and references preserved by later Greek writers who heard rumors about them from Egyptian priests. These scattered clues paint the outline of a secret order whose work focused on what happened not in the day, but in the invisible world reached only through dreams. The order took its name from an old Egyptian idea, the Night Sea, a dark, symbolic realm the soul was believed to cross during sleep. Egyptians believed that during the night when the body rested, the Ka, the vital essence of a person, could drift away into a world filled with visions, ancestors, and forces that shaped both life and death. Most priesthoods treated dreams as messages. The Night Sea treated them as a place. This difference changed everything. Members of the order saw dreams as a territory that could be entered, studied, influenced, and navigated. They believed that the mind during sleep was not closed but open, making it possible for trained individuals to shape the dreams of others. Their work was not public and never shared with ordinary priests. It required secrecy, discipline, and silence. To them, dreams were not just byproducts of the mind, they were roads. Some historians suspect that the order originated in the early days of the Egyptian kingdom, during a time when local warlords fought for power and rulers depended heavily on omens. Early Egypt was filled with competing cults, small priesthoods, and local rituals. In this chaotic spiritual landscape, a group interested in dreams and the soul could grow quietly, without attracting immediate notice. Over generations, as Egypt unified, this group may have become an underground tradition preserved by a small group of priests who passed their knowledge privately from master to student. By the Old Kingdom, the period when the Great Pyramids were built, the order had likely developed into a structured priesthood. Evidence for this comes from a handful of secret chambers discovered beneath temple complexes. These chambers have unusual features: deep grooves carved into stone floors, soot marks on ceilings, and benches arranged in tight circles. None of these features match normal temple rituals. Archaeologists call these rooms unclassified because they cannot explain them. But a few scholars point out that the size, shape, and layout resemble spaces designed for controlled spiritual experiences like collective dreaming or trance states. This aligns with the legend. The Order of the Night Sea held ceremonies where multiple priests entered guided dreams together. A major element of the order's practice involved what later scholars call the hidden book. The famous Book of the Dead, which guided souls through the afterlife, exists in many versions and copies. But ancient magical manuscripts hint at another text, one not intended for the dead, but for the living. These hidden passages describe spells for inducing vivid dreams, separating consciousness from the body, and influencing the Ka of another sleeper. These spells were extremely dangerous in the wrong hands. They could be used to inspire courage in a hero or plant fear in a king. They could ease the grief of a mourning queen or create illusions strong enough to shape political decisions. For this reason, these spells were never shared openly. They were kept within small, highly trusted circles. Many believe only the Order of the Night Sea had access to them. The order's most controversial practice involved dream intervention. According to surviving fragments, members of the order believed a trained priest could synchronize his breathing and heart rhythm with that of a sleeping ruler. This alignment created what they described as a dream bridge. Through this bridge, the priest could enter the ruler's dream world and influence the symbols the ruler encountered. For example, if the kingdom faced a threat, the priest might create a dream in which the ruler saw a serpent approaching the throne, symbolizing betrayal. If an alliance was necessary, the priest might send a vision of two birds flying together over the Nile. And if a ruler hesitated to make a decision, the priest could present a dream where the ruler saw himself succeeding, strengthening his courage. To the ruler, these dreams appeared natural. To the order, they were carefully crafted. This practice was not always used for noble purposes. Some believed the order helped maintain stability by guiding rulers away from harmful decisions. But others accused them of manipulating the kingdom to serve their own interests, or the interests of temple factions that supported them. Without written records, it is impossible to know their true intentions. But the fact that other priesthoods tried to suppress them suggests that the order's power was significant. Inside their hidden chambers, the order also practiced what they called phantom shaping. This was not the creation of physical spirits, but the crafting of mental images that lived only inside dreams. These dream phantoms could take any form: animals, ancestors, even versions of the dreamer. They were tools used to evoke strong emotional reactions: fear, awe, clarity, or repentance. To the order, these phantoms were not lies. They were symbolic messengers used to guide individuals toward necessary actions. Phantom shaping required immense psychological understanding. The priests needed to know a person's fears, desires, regrets, and memories. Only by understanding the mind could they shape a dream that would feel meaningful instead of chaotic. In this sense, the order was not only a spiritual group, they were early psychologists. Their influence probably peaked during the Middle and New Kingdoms, when Egypt was ruled by powerful pharaohs and guided by strong temple systems. During this time, political decisions often depended on omens, dreams, and divine messages. An order that could shape dreams would have had enormous influence, especially when rulers faced difficult choices like war, diplomacy, succession, or religious reform. But success carries risk. As more priesthoods became aware of the order's existence, fear grew. Some accused them of controlling pharaohs. Others believed they were interfering with the natural balance between life and death. A few temple inscriptions from this time contain warnings about the priests who walk unseen and those who claim the night sea as their road. Eventually, powerful political and religious leaders moved against the order. Their chambers were sealed. Their scrolls were burned or hidden. Their members were forced to either disappear into ordinary priesthoods or flee into remote regions. Some scholars believe surviving members traveled into the Sinai, Nubia, or the eastern deserts, continuing their traditions in secrecy. The order did not end overnight. It faded. Over the centuries, references to dream navigation and hidden rituals became less frequent. By the late period, Egypt was too unstable to preserve its esoteric traditions. Conquests by foreign empires disrupted the priesthoods, and many secret practices were lost. When Greek historians later toured Egypt, they encountered only scattered rumors, old priests speaking of a dream order that once served the pharaohs, long vanished into silence. Today, the Order of the Night Sea survives only as a legend. No complete text describes their rituals. No identified temple is known to have belonged to them. What remains is a network of hints, sealed rooms, strange hieratic notes, unexplained rites, and stories passed through centuries of retelling. Yet the legend fascinates because it reveals a side of Egypt that history rarely discusses. It shows us a civilization that explored not only the physical world, but the world inside the mind. It suggests that ancient Egyptians may have known far more about dreams, consciousness, and psychological influence than we usually assume. It points to a priesthood that treated the night not as a time of rest, but as a frontier holding hidden dangers and powerful opportunities. In the end, the mystery remains. Did the order truly manipulate the dreams of rulers? Did they map the landscape of the sleeping mind? Did they preserve a hidden version of the Book of the Dead, designed not for the dead, but for the living? We may never know, but the idea continues to captivate us. A secret priesthood sailing the dark waters of the night sea, guiding the dreams of a kingdom, shaping history from the shadows, and leaving behind only echoes in the quiet places of ancient temples.